Hi, VJ Benski here with a exciting tutorial today on how to do modulation inside Xnth. This is pretty cool. This is really how we get the 3D scenes pumping, bouncing, moving automatically in time with the music. So this is how we do it. We need to add a layer. So click on the little star here. I'm today using the Xnth logo one. Okay, modulation happens down here. I'll just go through the modulations for you quickly. The first number represents the number of the modulation that's selected. If you see over here, 15 has the square box around it. It's 15 there. If I click 1, 2, 3, you can see it's changing. This is the number of the modulation channel that you're working on. Off, self-explanatory, it turns it off. So 15's off, 1 is off, they're all off. Okay. We have the triangle wave, square wave, sine wave, saw wave, noise, Gaussian noise. A Gaussian noise is like a smooth noise. You'll see when you start applying this. This is a low frequencies, mid frequencies, high frequencies, full range. This is the x-axis of the mouse, the y-axis of the mouse, and your MIDI controller, which you will be familiar with from previous MIDI tutorial. Next we have the multiplier and its relevant cycling up and down, and the modulation phase. This becomes useful when you want to adjust two parameters with a slight offset and invert. This just basically inverts the cycling of the modulation. So that's all the modulations. Let's begin. Modulation happens down here. The key is these blue spheres. Wherever you see these clickable blue spheres, you can apply these modulations to that parameter. We have here our 3D scene. You can see the geometry here. This particular scene has an animation time coded onto it. However, there is actually no animation in this scene. I just wanted to show you how this animation marker could show up even if your scene does not have animation. And you'll notice that there's also the possibility to assign this animation value to a modulation channel. Here's how it works. First of all, let's select a modulation channel. For the sake of this exercise, we'll just use modulation 1. The next step is we must decide what parameter of the 3D scene we want to apply it to. This is where we get into these modifiers. First one is move, rotation, scale, luminosity, color, material scale, material position, material move, material rotation, material spin, material warp, and 3D mesh warp. For this exercise, we just want to assign the modulation to make the Xnth logo here rotate. So the rotations for 3D objects are here. We must first just check, no, that's not the one I would like to rotate. No, that's not the way I'd like it to rotate. Ah, this is the one we'd like to modulate. Okay, so here's what we do. We click on the blue sphere modulation here. We're already selected on modulation channel 1 below. And we just select how we'd like it to modulate. By clicking on the triangle wave, we can see it modulates first in one direction and then back in another direction. We click on the square wave, it stays in one position and then flicks to another position. You can see here how the modulation lights. It's now 0%, 100%. Now if I click it onto a sine wave, you'll see it goes round to 0% and then back again. And next, if I click on the saw wave, you'll see it just goes round in one direction. Experiment with these. You'll find one that's perfect for what you need. If I use the noise, it'll jump around kind of in a strobatic, crazy kind of way. If I use the Gaussian noise, it has a much smoother variable. This is quite good if you want to bring some kind of random feeling to your scene. I use this quite often to create a sense of naturalness. But for this example, I just wanted to spin in the one direction. So I'm going to click here on the saw wave.